What's up, guys? It's Lunatic, coach of the Brookhaven Bandits, and the season is over, and I wanted to kind of just talk about my thoughts about the season. I saw a couple of other coaches did this. They did it before the finals happened, which I personally think felt a little out of order. I think it should have happened afterwards, but they did it their way. I'm going to do it my way. I think it's best to wait on the season reflection until the season's actually over. But whatever. So I'm just gonna talk. It's late, but I've wanted to do this, and I don't know. So I'm just gonna go off the dome, just talk. So just gonna run down my draft, make a Venus store. No. I'm going to run down my draft in the order that I drafted it. While I'm going to try to pull it up. I remember the first thing I drafted was Mimikyu. I have no problem with Mimikyu. It is not a first round worthy pick. I love Mimikyu. It was fun to use. Not worth first round. I do blame myself a lot for Carlos getting such a good draft because I didn't draft the scariest threats in my first couple rounds. But it's whatever. I also remember in my draft analysis that I was I want to use Mimikyu in a couple different ways, it gets some cool moves. And at first I was trying it. Week 1 I ran Trick Room, which I'm really proud of that week 1 running Trick Room against Colton. Threw him off guard really hard, and things just went according to plan so well. So I was really happy with how that went, and just for me, I think I did a good job there. I'm not a great battler, but I do take pride in that week 1 match, catching my opponent off guard. But yeah, I ran Trick Room Mimikyu. I ran Will-O-Wisp. I ran Destiny Bond a couple times. But then towards the later end of the season, I was running a lot of standard Mimikyu, which, there's nothing wrong with that, but, my plan was to use a lot of, kooky sets with it, and kind of ended up falling into the standard set, which is fine, it's whatever. Mimikyu was kind of fun to use, though. Again, not a first round pick. It was honestly my love for the Pokemon itself. When Mimikyu was revealed, I just fell in love with it. It's my favorite Gen 7 Mon. It's super cool. And there was someone else who wanted to draft it maybe. So I was not gonna let that happen. He did go before me, and he picked something else. And he was like, yeah, I'm probably just gonna let you have it. And I was like, I'm taking it first round. My next pick, I believe, was Latias, I want to say. Was Latias? 1 second. I'm pretty sure it was Latias. Yep, okay. So Latias was my second round pick. And I kind of kicked myself for this. At that point, Kieran Black was still up. I could have taken Kieran Black. It's terrifying. But I don't know. I went with Latias because, I've used Gardevoir before. I like having that, that's kind of bulky Psych type that can, Calm Mind. It has coverage, and it has Healing Wish. I like Healing Wish as a move. I think it's really cool. And Latias was also a defogger. Going into this draft, I wanted a lot of hazard control. So, Latias. I fucking loved using Latias, actually. There were times when I wish it was Latios, just because it was like I needed that extra damage to secure a kill or something. But the bulk of Latias was really fun to use. The versatility, with its coverage moves, like the spreads I ran, varied a lot. Because it has pretty good stats and like everything except like attack. So also the base 110 speed really came in handy a lot of the time. I really loved using Latias, actually. Then I picked Donphan. I have no problem with Donphan. Donphan was great. There was nothing wrong with Donphan. Honestly, my team as a whole lacked synergy in some ways. So Donphan was a great mon. It just sometimes it felt like it was weighing the team down, but it wasn't its fault. It was just the way my team is. It felt like, I don't know. It did good for me. It was my rocker a lot of the time. It had some good, I guess, coverage moves. I would run knockoff, ice shard. I ran play rough. It's good for getting a toxic on something. It's a spinner. It did all those things. Having sturdy, it allowed me to get something off, whether it was a toxic or rocks or spin or whatever. I didn't get to use a more offensive Don. No, there was 1 week that I tried to run offensive Donphan. It was against Annabelle. But I fucked up. I remember the turn. I want to say it was against the Mega Dynasty. I got up a Rock Polish. And then I went for a second one to outspeed Mega Dynasty, but I should have just gone for Earthquake, because with that Rock Polish, I outspeed the rest of his mons and would be healthy enough to take a hit. So that was just a misplay. So I think that was the only time I ran a more offensive Donphan, and I just messed up with it. There were a lot of times I just messed up, but it's fine. I mean, we ended up winning, so it's just stuff to learn from. Next I had picked Empoleon, and I love Empoleon. Empoleon's a great mon. In terms of design, Inferni's my favorite 4th gen starter, but in terms of using Empoleon, I love it. I used Inferni before, but I don't know, I couldn't use it properly. And I've used Torterra, which I love, so it's funny that my favorite 4th gen starter is the one I don't like using. In Draft League, specifically. But Empoleon, great mon. Has good enough physical defense that it can take hits on that end if you invest in it, which I did a couple times. Rocker, Defogger, Scald. I ran Aqua Jet a couple times. That was fun. Flash Cannon for those fairies. It's so bulky and such a good answer to fairies. It would always be able to take a hit from something. It was really, really great to use. I ran a lot of berries on it, I think. It does have some exposable weaknesses. With electric, there's volt switches going around. There's a lot of teams run fighting types. I ran Choppleberry in my last match. It's weak to ground too. There's a couple things that Empoleon's weak to. Next up, well, this is where the order got fucked up. So I'm just going to talk about them in any order. I want to say that my next pick was Skuntank. I'm pretty sure my next pick was Skuntank. Skuntank came to, I think, 2 matches. Maybe 3. Didn't do much. Just didn't. In the match against Bronson, his job was to scare Tapu Lele because Potent Jabo code. But Bronson doesn't fucking know what to do with Lele. He doesn't give a shit about it. So, like, he just left it in. And it baffled me. Like, this is worse than the fucking Dewblade. I will reference that all the time. Fucking Dewblade +2 Sing-In on Mandibuz's foul play that, for sure, O-code. And Dewblade walled so much of my team that he should keep it. Anyways, with Lele, like, it's fucking Tapu Lele, and he just didn't give a shit about it. So, like, the plan was to pursuit trap it to get chip damage on it so other mons can take it out. Because Lele is a little bulky on, like, the special side. But that was one thing Skuntank did. Besides that, he didn't do much. I think the next thing I drafted was McMortar. I'm still on the quest to find a fire type I like. McMortar just never... I could never find a spot for it. I know week 1 I brought it with the Trick Room. I brought McMortar and Drampa as, like, the wall breakers. I don't remember bringing McMortar to another match. And I had so many ideas for it. And I could never find it. I found myself bringing kind of the same mons all the time and then maybe swapping one thing out. Once I made my trades is when I had more versatility because I liked the mons that I picked up. But, like, in general, Latias, Mimikyu, Mega Venusaur, and, like, Empoleon came to, like, every game. And Donphan came to a lot, too. So, like, I was revolving around the same mons. And McMortar just never seemed to fit. It's unfortunate. I have started preparing my draft for next season already, which is going to be in a few weeks. We are excited to start, but I mean, I personally needed a break. I have stuff going on. I have school, and the time that we have scheduled for the league to start up again is after I finish with this semester, so that would be lovely. Also, we have a D-League now, so we set it up so that the winner of the D-League will be able to join us. And I think we're staying with the same amount of people and all that. But yeah, so I have a new fire type in mind, and hopefully that one I'll enjoy using. Next, I think next I picked up Araquanid. The thing with Araquanid, I hyped it up a lot. It's not that it's bad, because it's not. I didn't want to use it. Like, I couldn't find the opportunity to use it. I didn't find it going well in matchups, like against teams. Like, amazing ability. I couldn't find it. And then, kind of to go along with that, Terrakion. I brought it to one match against Geo, which was just a terrible match. I lost just because of an overpredict. Not really an overpredict, just like, why, really? I just had to click HP Fire twice on Sizzler. He couldn't kill Mega Venusaur, so I don't know why I felt I had to go to Donphan. But that was the one game I brought Terrakion, and yeah, I didn't understand how to use it. I know that a Choice Band Terrakion, like, tears through things. Even, like, Scarf Terrakion is good. And there's fucking Z moves and shit. But I don't know. It felt weird to me, and because Sarakin and Araquanid I wasn't feeling too much. That's why I started looking for other mons in the free agency. And I'll get back to those mons after I talk about the rest. So next I picked up Togedemaru, and that wasn't a troll pick. I legitimately thought Togedemaru would be able to do stuff. It gets Wish, which is, kind of cool. Spiky Shield, Nuzzle, which Nuzzle is basically the Underwave because the damage it does is like nothing, but like it can still go through like Taunt or like Magic Bounce or some shit. That's cool. It gets Zing Zap, which is the signature move. Base 80, which isn't bad at all. Steel typing's good. Its abilities, 30, Lightning Rod, and Iron Barb, all were like things I wanted to mess with, but it never, like, teams were too threatening, or like I just couldn't find a spot for it. I did bring it against Slaybait, because he had a lot of electric type, and I was like, Togedemaru just kind of walled them. Except for like Manectric because it gets Flamethrower and Overheat, but this thing walled Tapu Koko. Like it was great. I also get Fake Out. I ended up just not really using it, and that adds on to the reason why I revolved around the same kind of mons. Because these mons didn't fit. Drampa, another mon that I wanted to use more, but I couldn't find a spot for him. That's really just like the same. It's the same issue for all of them. He's gonna tank Magmortar to get Myron Drampa. Like obviously there could have been sets that I could have run, but I always ended up finding something that I thought was better. And like I had a lot of plans for Drampa. Actually, like Drampa was the one I was most sad about not using because it hits so hard. It has Berserk. It gets set up in Calm Mind. It gets Roost, and then its move pool is just insane. But it's slow. Its bulk is like meh. And I couldn't, and I feel bad about it. I feel really bad for Drampa. And lastly, we have Mega Venusaur. Yeah, it was bulky. It was always able to like take hits. I don't know. It came to like every match just because of this bulky thing. But I wasn't like crazy excited over it, and I didn't get to run a more offensive one because it has base 80 speed, which isn't bad, and like it can hit pretty hard. But I always ended up just running bulky, and that just goes back to how my team is. It's not a good draft. It's not. But also, like, I feel like with Z moves, bulky megas are a little, I guess, easier to deal with. I just remember fucking Destin with a Z Hurricane on Volcarona to outrun me. Because I think it was Volcarona. Mega Venusaur was able to take a hit and then probably Revenge, because that's why I brought it in. But no, I just ate that Z Hurricane. Mega Venusaur, the thing with Mega Venusaur as opposed to other bulky megas is that it gets Synthesis. Like, there were a lot of times I ran Synthesis. Like, Mega Venusaur is just there to be annoying. I ran Leech Seed a lot of the time. I ran Knockoff a lot. But no, Mega Venusaur was fine to use. I think I want to try a more offensive Mega next time. And then with my free agent trades, I dropped Tarak and Arachnid for Halucha Gyarados. And I was scared to make that trade because I knew Tarakin was a threat, and he was like downgrading because tier 1 and Halucha to tier 2, so it felt bad. And then Arachnid to Gyarados. It was really the Tarakin to Halucha that was messing with my head, because Arachnid for Gyarados, that's good. But no, I fucking loved using Halucha and Gyarados. Gyarados I ran bulky a lot of the time because it was the one thing on my team with Intimidate. So I wanted to utilize that. Halucha was great. I ran Banded, Scarf, and it tears through things. It has base like 92 attack, I think. Like 92 attack and then 118 speed. So it's not like attack stat isn't crazy high, but it still hits really hard. And I did actually get to use the standard set with her jump kick acro in my last match, which was fun to use. I definitely really enjoyed using Halucha, and it's one of those mons that doesn't really get drafted like ever. I know in the GBA, Gator drafted it, and when I saw him drafted, I was like, respect, because people don't really draft it, and I think it's a good mon. Yeah, so that's my draft. I mentioned before, match with Annabelle. I mentioned match against Gio, with Kyle, in which I just flubbed it. One more match that I want to just mention was against Storm, and he said in his video, when I sacked Latias to Ferrothorn, he's like, he made this questionable play, and that's putting it nicely. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I can't remember what I was thinking in that moment. Because Latias was my one way to get rid of hazards. Because he just hazard stacked the fuck out of me. I brought McMorto to that game. I just remembered because it came in and took 50% because of rocks and spikes. And I sacked it, which means all my mons were going to take all those hazard damage. So it was just extremely poor play by me. And I have nothing to say about that, really. So yeah, that's my draft, how I felt I did. I definitely didn't think I was gonna make it out. No, sorry. I didn't think I would be top of my division. I definitely didn't feel like I was playing to that caliber. But I mean, in my division, we had someone who went 0-11. Someone else went 3-8. And then we had someone who, Dave, had to drop out during the season, which means he forfeited 2 or 3 games before we got a replacement because we were unsure if he was returning. To those 3 people, it's and there's only 6 people in the division, you kind of find your way there. I kind of ended up there. And I mean, that's just for top 3. Getting top of the division was surprising, actually. I do think I could have played better. Something to note is the 4th highest in the other division, which was the Moon division, was Bronson, who had the same record as me at 7-4. And he had a 12 differential, and I had a 9 differential. I was number 1 in my division. He was number 4 in his. So, it's just the other division had a lot more competition than ours. So yeah, I just kind of ended up there. Really, I don't know what to say about that. I found it hard to believe when it was coming to the end of the season that I was like, I can be number 1 seed. And then to think of just winning the whole thing, I didn't think was possible. And that was really just because I knew that if I made it to finals, I would go against Carlos. And when I faced Carlos, during the regular, week, I tried coming up with some cool tech, and like with the tech, I didn't beat him. So I was that what's the word? I felt like even more scared because it was like even with tricks, I can't beat him. So like, what am I supposed to do? I have to come up with like new tricks. So I didn't think I would win. But I guess because I used the same couple of mons on my team, I definitely became very comfortable with them. Yeah. And I don't know what else to talk about. I do feel like more needs to be said though. I'm gonna look at. Let's see the schedule. I can. Is there any other games I want to talk about? My week 1 I discussed. Week 2. Week 3 was against. Where's Pink? Okay, week 3 was the forfeit. Week 4 was when I lost to Hazard Stack. Week 5 was Togedemaru Walls Tapu Koko. Week 6, I don't remember. Week 7 was against Annabelle and I fucked up. Week 8 was Carlos, he just beat me. Week 9 was against the Toros, which was... I don't really remember that either. Week 10 was against Bronson, which was the forfeit, because he cheated. And week 11 was against Gogos, which was just fair play. So, that was that. I forgot about this. Huh. Let's just look at my kill sheet. If it would scroll, can you? Thank you. The mon on my team with the most amount of kills, like during just the regular week, was Mimikyu. Because, I mean, I guess that shows Mimikyu is a threat. Mimikyu. So we've been in the talk about next season, and we were like, certain mons need to be changed in tier. Whether because we've used them and we see how good they are or how bad they are, or like things that went undrafted. We were like, maybe we have a better understanding now. Someone tried to say Mimikyu should go to tier 1, and I was like the first to disagree with that because Mimikyu is great. Disguise ability is great. It can still be status. And like, its attack is under 100. Its speed is under 100. Yeah, SD, cool. A steel type fucking walls it. Like, Mimikyu can be pretty easily walled. So I was definitely against Mimikyu going up to tier 1. I think it's perfectly fine in tier 2. Tier 3 I think would be too good for it. Yeah, nothing special with kill sheets. I know Carlos had 3 mons with above 10 kills each. Megalopony went 15 and 2 during the regular week. Like, Carlos is very good badly. What else needs to be said? I don't know. I really enjoyed this season. It was a lot of fun. Had to bring some fun sets, and I won, which is very surprising, but I was ecstatic when I won. And I mean, I'm just really excited to start up again. It feels weird not prepping for this league because it's been like a week since the finals happened. I think over a week. And it feels weird not prepping. Not prepping for this league because I do have another one going on. But the PWC is the main league for me, the most important one to me. And I love it, and I love the people in it. We do have some coaches left, and we picked up coaches. and I love the people. They're really fun. Well, the people now. There's someone I don't give a shit. Bronson, I didn't like him. I think I mentioned it before. I don't like Bronson, so he's no longer part of the PWC. I'm quite happy about that. And yeah, I love everyone else. They're a good group of people. They're a real fun group. And like we discuss sets, we help each other build. You know, all that. It's a good time. They're real cool people, and I love being in this league. Like, I don't know how. I didn't intend to go talking about that and all. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts on the season. I'm itching to draft, because honestly drafting is really fun. It gives a lot of anxiety, but it's still really fun. So those are my thoughts. I do want to draft. I want to draft a team where every mon can come every week. Kind of like, I don't want to have like 4 mons that my opponent's like, oh, they're not coming because I don't bring them. Honestly, I like what I have planned. Of course, you know, things might not go according to plan. And I've been talking with well, really with Carlos and Kyle, because they're my 2 closest friends in this, and we've been kind of talking about what we want to draft, like a little bit of our plans, because you know we're cool with each other, and it's real interesting, cool stuff. So, I mean, I can't wait. Partially because I know by the time the draft's done, I'm done with this semester of school, and I want that to be done so bad. So, I guess that's that. I don't really have anything else to say. Yeah, but yeah, those are my thoughts. And that is all. Bye.